Hello. Today, I want to talk about family and the family dynamic and how my family dynamic has played into the spiritual journey so far. I've thought a little bit about it because think a part of remembering why I'm here is that knowing that I came in with this specific family. And a huge part of my realization about why I'm here and what I'm here to do is that I came here with a little tuned in already. Let's just say I've described it before as having my inner world mastered, but that sounds a little too woo woo to me. I described it that way in the past because part of what I think I'm here to learn is that mastery is an illusion. But I've definitely always been a little bit tuned in emotionally too. Like I could see things. I could tell things about people. And in a lot of ways, I've felt like okay, I have to. This is Teddy right now as I'm doing this. This is ridiculous. Anyways, he's sleeping like that. I just see his feet from the other side of my thing that I have it sitting on. Okay. I don't know that anyone has ever fully seen me. And I talked about this a little bit before with my family. And sometimes, and in fact, I would say now I'm realizing, now that I've been alone with myself for a while, I'm realizing that virtually everyone I've ever interacted with, I've been more of a character in their lives than, I guess, how I actually am as like another person. And that's because of this thing I've talked about before, where I can almost heal people sometimes. Like sometimes when I'm listening to somebody and I'm hearing them out from my heart, sometimes what they need to hear is channeled through me from somewhere else. It's in knowledge that I haven't even internalized, but I know it's what they need to hear. I just become what they need to hear, right? I play that character for them. I feel that way about every member of my family and almost every single person I meet, excluding literally, I'd say, my mama, who has guided me on this journey since I began it, and my nanny Suzanne. Meaning they had things to teach me in this life. And obviously I've learned things like from my parents, obviously. But I'm talking in a spiritual sense. Like there is something, it's like the other side of the coin to being able to say what people need is being able to see in somebody that there's something incomplete. And when I was a kid, I fully felt like and could see auras. And it's kind of a thing that I've been trying to build up back. And, I'm hesitant to really talk about it because it's, like I said, it's a lot of woo-woo shit. But I can read a motherfucker. Instantly. Okay? Instantly. And like I knew from a young age, I could see how flawed my parents were. And all my uncles and grandparents, and it's just I could see I didn't have knowledge of no, it was almost like I was coming from a place of completeness within. I never had to question. When I was a kid, I never had to question whether or not I was good enough, right? Or whether or not I had a connection to God. I didn't even really talk to God. I didn't even, I just felt him. I felt God. And what I wrote down was, I don't think anyone has ever fully seen me except for my mama and my nanny Suzanne when she glimpsed what I would be. And my nanny Sue, my godmother, went on a spiritual journey alongside my mama when they were young women, and that spiritual journey was very important to them. It was their bond. My nanny, my great aunt, she was a elementary school teacher, but she never had any kids of her own, due to some complications with, like, I think she just never found the right man. Maybe she did, and then he got away, kind of thing. But then she found her fulfillment in being an elementary school teacher and in me and my Uncle Aaron, who were her godchildren. And all the children were important to her, all of them, all the children in the family. She was like a third grandmother for me. But I know she saw something in me because she used to tell me that all the time, and I used to not really know what she was talking about. When it was just me and her together, she used to tell me all the time that I didn't know how much power I had. That one day I would see. And my mama has, been the extension of that as I actually began this spiritual journey, right? Because she passed away after fighting breast cancer she passed away about 10 years ago. Nanny Sue did. After fighting breast cancer for about 20 years. And, she died well. She was surrounded by people who loved her. She got to say, I love you. Last time I saw her, I told her I loved her, and she was smiling her ass off. She was in that bed. She was in the bed she died in. And I still got my mama, and she's giving me the cards. She's giving me the books. But with literally almost everyone else, it's like I came in to this family to help them, to love them. And they need me. And it's like I in some ways, because of what happens when I get around people, because I become a character to everyone. I've met very few people in my life who didn't see me that way, who I could see that they needed me for something, almost against their own will, because like people who are hurt, I attract them because I have a healing energy, and it's like I'm not willing to play some characters. Now, however, one of the things I love doing is playing a fucking character, okay? I am a drama kid. I've even done acting in my adult life. I love playing a fucking character. And when it comes to my family, and especially my friends, I'll play your character. I'll play it all day. I'll give you exactly what you need. That's why I'm here. Right? Because all personas, all things are just masks, characters to be played. That's part of what people don't understand. It's like and it's not to say that my family members aren't aware, that they aren't aware of spirituality or anything, right? Like I have family members who are very aware spiritually. But I have yet to meet somebody in my life who was on my path, at the same level of my path, because like, who's on my resonance. Because I would say my nanny and my mama were on my resonance spiritually, but they were already so far along on their path by the time I began mine, that there's this separation that's almost impossible to cross, right? Because like, I feel so strongly, and I can even sense that they've been careful to reveal certain things at certain times, give me things at certain times when they feel like I was ready. Because that's the thing about playing a character. It's like, I'll play your character. I'll be him. I'll be your brother, your son, your little brother, your older brother, your cousin. I'll be your friend, right? I'll do it all. But are you going to be able to listen to me? Can you hear me? And that's not a judgment. Because I'm not ever going to stop saying what I say and doing what I do and being who I am. But some people, I've noticed now dealing with this, what I can do for people, what being in other people's lives I know does for them. I have to make sure that they aren't holding on to my energy, because filling the gaps in with the flame, the warmth of the flame, the eternal, endless flame within me, is a distraction from actually healing the wound in the first place. And I've experienced that in virtually every single fucking relationship I've had that I got close to, obviously. Not, because there's levels to this shit, right? Obviously, like, and it's almost like I have a perspective on my life from the future as well. That's kind of how, because I know how much of an effect I'm going to have on my family as I continue to live and we all grow older. I can see it, because I see right through them like nobody else, because it's like what I'm here to do. And the same thing went for my partners. Obviously, like, I needed nourishment. I've talked about that before too. But the thing that needed nourishment in me has always been the same, and I wrote this down. So the nature of why I've sought out relationships and what I've done is that a deep desire to be seen and an inner knowledge that one day I finally will be fully seen by someone. Oh, buddy, you want to go out? Go ahead, buddy. So yeah. But yeah, I want him to shut the fuck up. Sorry, I don't know. I lost my track of time. Because then anyone wanted to go out. I'm gonna edit this part out. Awesome. Thanks. I should have just stopped recording. Yeah, so anyways, that's what I've sought out in relationships. Is a deep desire to be seen and an inner knowledge that one day I will fully be seen. I love my blood so much and will forever be grateful to them, but I've never been seen as more than a character in a lot of their lives. And that's on purpose. And I can see it. I can see it in my relationships and all my friendships. Like, I just have this kind of fiery energy that infuses life into things. And I love doing it. I'll do it all day long. I just, it's almost like I'm a lesson. I'm a walking lesson. And I felt that way since I was a child. I've just only now, as I'm really growing into myself, really discovering the words for it. But I know that one day somebody will see me. Somebody who probably understands a lot of what I go through. And like, I'm not having pity on myself, but it is isolating. Because and then it's like I get around people, and then the things that they need are reflected in me, and then they reveal themselves even more to me, and then it's just And I say all this with love. It's a hard thing to talk about, because I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings. But it's just the reality. Like, I'm a character in people's lives, and I don't mind. I'll be a character. I'll be a character in your life if you're watching this video. Continuing on. So, as I wrote, because I came into this world already a little tuned in, I feel like I've had a lot of seasons in my life that I've learned from. Yes. This is what I was this is the part of the reason why I wanted to make the video. The main reason. I've been self-aware from a really young age. Like, even, like my memory's just weird. And I feel like there's a spiritual tinge to everything that goes on with me, but even without me applying it. So even though some of those seasons were rapid or only realized they were seasons in retrospect, I feel that I've acquired a large number of spiritual harvests. And I've lived this very self-aware life where I feel that the physical world wants to participate in this work of creation. And, when I go places, meaning is created. I want to understand that. I want to understand it so bad. Why that happens. Over time, I've built up enough discernment to be able to say, oh, that thought pattern or energy needs to be let go. And there is someone I need to let go of, or my vision of them and the ache that vision soothes. Right. Huh. Actually, while I'm sitting here reading what I wrote and thinking about it, maybe this idea of a soulmate is what's holding me back. And I'm going to find somebody who sees me. Because why isn't it enough that I see myself? I've been doing so good with my health lately. I've been waking up at 6, 7 a.m., eating three meals a day, taking care of school, making these videos. And it's like every day, the feelings within me it's like sometimes they aren't my own, I swear. Like the longer I spend alone, the more these characters are released from within me. Because maybe I've been looking to these characters, these reflections of myself and other people, to tell me who I am. I feel like I need to do a reading. I know nothing. Thank you, Spirit. That's crazy. The fucking Ace of Cups inverted. And the music starting and stopping at the right... Like, that was... The Ace of Cups inverted? Isn't that weird? Now, I just shuffled that deck. Not like crazy. Right? But enough to... And this Ace of Cups, man, I've been using it for so much, for explanations. I mean, I didn't just like pick this up off the deck, did I? Like, what the fuck? I'm almost flabbergasted. Did I fuck something up? Like, no, I just shuffled that deck. What's the next card? Is that the fucking Ten of Pentacles? Holy shit. That's the Ten of Pentacles. And Justice. Now, come on now. Yeah, I don't know what's going... This is crazy. This is exactly what I was just saying. Like, I've looked for the source of my cup overflowing in the reflection of others. This is what I mean. Like, sometimes the world mirrors back to you exactly what you need to know. You simply need the eyes to see. The instructions are there. Because I'm going to tell you right now, I don't know how long it's going to take me to get over this feeling like I need somebody, but I know that that is the path. However fucking long it takes. Everything I need is within. All of my emotional needs. I just have to have the strength to fill my own cup. And I guess you know, there's just a part of me that's afraid to feel bad. There's a part of me that's afraid to sit alone at night. But I don't want to be afraid anymore. I want to fill my own cup. Anyways, I don't know. This one's kind of weird, but that's crazy. Anyway, I love you. I'll talk to you later.